Good morning, America. I need you to listen closely today, August 18th, 2025. Our nation is facing a complex and dangerous weather situation from coast to coast. It feels like Mother Nature has thrown everything she has at us all at once, creating a volatile and hazardous environment for millions. From the Atlantic to the Pacific, we are seeing a dramatic clash of elements. We have torrential, flooding rains in the east, a dangerous heat dome baking the central part of the country, and a critical fire threat emerging in the west. And out in the ocean, a hurricane is churning, gaining strength, and demanding our undivided attention. This isn't just a weather report, it's a nationwide alert. This convergence of extreme weather events is not a coincidence. Let's dive deeper into the primary driver of the chaos in the eastern two-thirds of the country. Think of this front as a massive atmospheric traffic jam. It's moving at a crawl, and because it's moving so slowly, it's allowing storms to train over the same areas for hours on end. This training effect is when one storm follows another along the same path, like train cars on a track. This is the perfect recipe for catastrophic flash flooding. This frontal boundary is acting as a trigger, a focal point for thunderstorms to erupt. To the east and south of the front, we have incredibly warm, humid, tropical air being pulled northward from the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic. The clash between these two air masses is what creates the lift needed for storms to develop. Now let's focus on the immediate impacts in the east, particularly along the Carolina coast. We are seeing rainfall rates of 2 to 4 inches per hour within the strongest thunderstorms. That is an incredible amount of water falling in a very short period of time. It can turn a dry street into a raging river in a matter of minutes. Emergency services are already overwhelmed with water rescues, and we are seeing widespread road closures. If you live anywhere from Charleston, South Carolina, up to the Outer Banks of North Carolina, you should not be traveling unless it is an absolute emergency. The threat isn't just the water. These storms are also severe. They are capable of producing damaging straight-line winds, large hail, and even isolated tornadoes. You could be dealing with a flash flood warning and a tornado warning at the same time. This is why having a robust safety plan is so important. The impact of this stalled frontal system isn't confined to the East Coast. It extends far inland, creating a dangerous and destructive situation across the upper Midwest as well. The rich soil that makes this region America's heartland is now so completely saturated that it behaves like concrete, causing nearly all of the additional rainfall to become immediate, dangerous runoff. In cities like Madison and Minneapolis, urban flooding has become a major crisis. Storm drains are completely overwhelmed, turning underpasses and low-lying intersections into treacherous lakes. We've seen countless images of cars stranded, with emergency crews working tirelessly to rescue people from their vehicles. The agricultural impact is also devastating. We are in a critical part of the growing season, and these floods could not have come at a worse time. Entire fields of corn and soybeans are underwater. This will not only lead to catastrophic crop losses for individual farmers, who may lose their entire livelihood for the year, but it will also have ripple effects on the nation's food supply and economy. While the eastern half of the country drowns, the western half is burning. It's really a tale of two extremes, driven by a massive and powerful ridge of high pressure, often called a heat dome, that has anchored itself over the west. This system is creating the perfect ingredients for explosive wildfire growth, scorching temperatures, incredibly low humidity, and dry, gusty winds. The vegetation across the northern Great Basin, the Rockies, the Sierra Nevada, and Southern California is critically dry. It has been baked for weeks, and now it's as flammable as tissue paper. It only takes one spark, from lightning, a campfire, or a piece of equipment, to ignite a blaze that can spread with terrifying speed. The winds are a major part of this threat. We're seeing what we call dry winds, which means they are not accompanied by any rain. These winds are often gusting between 30 and 50 miles per hour, especially through canyons and over mountain passes. These gusts can turn a small, manageable fire into an uncontrollable inferno in just minutes. Let's talk more about the heat itself, which is a silent but deadly threat. The same high-pressure system causing the fire danger out west is also responsible for a dangerous and prolonged heat wave across the Central Plains, and due to a different setup, in Florida. In states like Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas, temperatures are soaring well into the triple digits. But the air temperature alone doesn't tell the whole story. We have to look at the heat index, which is what the temperature feels like to the human body when relative humidity is combined with the air temperature. In the Central Plains, while the humidity isn't as high as in the southeast, the sheer intensity of the heat is pushing temperatures to 105 to 110 degrees. Further east, in Florida, the afternoon high might only be in the mid-90s, but the oppressive tropical humidity is pushing the heat index values to a staggering 110 to 115 degrees. At these levels, your body's ability to cool itself through sweating is severely compromised. The sweat doesn't evaporate effectively, and your internal temperature can rise to dangerous levels very quickly. This kind of heat is especially dangerous for the most vulnerable among us. This includes young children, the elderly, people with chronic health conditions like heart or lung disease, and outdoor workers. We are urging everyone in these heat-affected areas to take this threat very seriously. If you have to be outside, do so only during the cooler morning hours. Drink far more water than you think you need, even if you don't feel thirsty. Wear lightweight, light-colored clothing, and most importantly, know the signs of heat-related illness, dizziness, nausea, headache, and confusion. And now we turn our attention to the tropics, where Hurricane Erin is churning in the Atlantic. This system has organized and strengthened significantly over the past 24 hours, and it is now a formidable Category 2 hurricane. Erin is currently located several hundred miles east of the Lesser Antilles, moving steadily toward the west-northwest. The storm is over very warm ocean waters, which is the high-octane fuel for hurricanes, and the upper-level winds are favorable for further intensification. All signs point to Erin becoming a major hurricane, meaning Category 3 or stronger before it reaches the Caribbean. This is a storm we must watch with extreme care. The first islands in Erin's path will be the Leeward Islands, followed by Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. Hurricane warnings have been issued for these areas. This means hurricane conditions, sustained winds of 74 miles per hour or higher, are expected within the next 36 hours. Preparations to protect life and property should be rushed to completion. For residents in Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands, this is a very serious threat. We are expecting not only destructive winds, but also a life-threatening storm surge, which is the wall of water pushed ashore by the hurricane, and torrential rainfall that will lead to widespread dangerous flash flooding and mudslides. For these islands, the memory of past hurricanes is still very fresh, and the infrastructure remains vulnerable. A direct hit from a major hurricane could be catastrophic. We have covered a tremendous amount of dangerous weather across the country today, from historic floods and critical fire danger to oppressive heat and a menacing hurricane. It can feel overwhelming, but the most important thing you can do right now is to focus on your specific location and your personal safety plan. The single best source for life-saving information is your local National Weather Service office. They issue the watches and warnings for your specific county. Have a way to receive these alerts instantly through a smartphone app, a NOAA weather radio, or local news broadcasts. Seconds matter in a severe weather event. Preparation is your best defense against Mother Nature. For those in the flood zones, know your evacuation routes and never drive through flooded waters. For those in the fire zones, have your go bag ready and clear defensible space around your home. For those in the heat wave, find ways to stay cool and hydrated and check on your neighbors. And for everyone along the East Coast, now is the time to review your hurricane preparedness kit. Make sure you have enough water, food, medication, and supplies to last for several days without power. This preparation needs to happen now, not when the storm is knocking on your door. This is a challenging time for our country, with millions of Americans facing serious weather threats. But we are resilient. By staying informed, being prepared, and looking out for one another, we can get through this together. Please, stay safe, make smart decisions, and keep it tuned to your trusted sources for the latest weather updates. We will continue to track all of these threats around the clock to keep you and your family safe. That is our promise to you.